Yo, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel, dear viewer. It's your boy CJ, and today I got a quick D4 video with some suggestions for Season 8 now that the PTR is out. I'm aiming around the 8-minute mark for these kind of videos because I don't want to take up too much of your time for this kind of content, but if we go a little over or under that, that's okay. But before we dive in, if you enjoy the video or agree with my thoughts, please give the video a like and also comment down below your suggestions slash feedback for Blizzard. Right, firstly, I just want to applaud Blizzard for actually making boss fights again. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be just one-shotting bosses from the get-go. Shit's fucking stupid, bro. I actually want to experience the mechanics of the bosses, even though I know there's some people out there that just want their bosses to feel like regular mobs. All right, first the suggestions: removing the boss spawn timer for solo players and lessening the boss spawn timer for group play. So I get that the whole point of this, like downtime boss respawn timer, is so in group play all the party members have time to loot, but this is just completely unnecessary for solo players and just feels really bad. And it could just definitely be lessened even for groups. Just a quick one. Making Belial harder, since he's supposed to be the hardest but ended up being one of the easiest bosses in the game, Duriel 2. So they were meant to restructure the bosses, with Duriel being this like tier 3 above the other bosses. So there was now 3 tiers: the tier 1 bosses, tier 2, and now tier 3 with Belial in the game. But if we look here at Woody Joe's quicker difficulty ranking of the bosses, he ended up being just barely harder than Duriel, which is a tier 2 boss. And it makes no sense. They almost have it right if you look. The tier 1 bosses, if they just moved Duriel's and Belial's difficulty to like over here down the bottom, it would be pretty much perfect. Like tier 1 bosses should be easier than tier 2, which should be easier than tier 3. That's just logical, right? Like they need to up the difficulty of Duriel and Belial to be on par with at least where Andariel is. I'm okay with the Andariel being hard, but it makes no sense if Belial's all the way here as one of the easiest bosses below all 4 of these tier 1 bosses. That makes no sense to me. Okay. As well as, we need to give the tier 2 bosses their own loot tables, because they share loot tables currently. So there is no reason to farm, say, Andariel or Harbinger. Well, Harbinger people will want to try because he's the new fight, but there's no reason of farming these two technically if you can just keep killing Duriel for the same loot. We should have a better reason to fight these two bosses. They should just split up the loot, so certain uniques come from these two bosses. Like, it's a simple fix. I don't know how they haven't. I don't even know why this is an issue in the first place, honestly. Okay, and then finally, giving Belial his own loot table. Similar issue, but I like the idea of target farming from the other loot tables, but I also think he should have his own loot table. So my suggestion here is you have 2 choices when you kill Belial. You can either have his loot, which is the better loot. I think it should be like, say, like the best uniques for the class should drop from Belial. So you can either choose that at like a normal rate, or you can, what they have currently, choose one of the lower tier bosses loot tables at the higher rate. And obviously, since they're lower tier bosses, they should give less good loot than Belial does. So Belial should have the good loot. The lower tier bosses should have less good loot. Makes sense. Like, I don't know why it's not like this. But say, hypothetically, this is a better solution than what they have currently, because if you already have the good loot from Belial, they don't have to scrap the system of being able to target farm from other boss loot tables. They can still keep that. They just need Belial to have his own loot table. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We don't have any word on what a lot of players are waiting for, which is more end game, more depth to the end game. We already have lots of things to do in the end game, but not many compelling reasons to do it, or any challenging reasons to do any of them. Like, Yeah, so it would be nice if we could have reasons to say grind Undercity instead of just for the sake of grinding it for no reason. Yes, there are different things you can get from Undercity, blah blah blah, but there's nothing to like really grind for in a way. Like I'm not progressing anything by doing that. It's always nice to have a sense of progression when doing things like this, like these different modes, infernal hordes, whatever it may be. It'd be nice if even I already talked about this in one of my previous videos, but yeah, almost like a rep system, but more complex than just a rep system, basically, is what I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, that's just my thoughts. I'm really actually looking forward to Season 8. The boss powers look really fun, and I think it brings D4 in a good direction. Like, I still think it's an improvement on the game, so there's a lot of D4 haters out there, but it is actually improving slowly, which I'm happy about. But yeah, there's so many good games out there. I'm trying to get into Monster Hunter right now, so I might make some content about that as well. But yeah, like it's not like D4 is the only game I play, so I don't really give a fuck. I just want to see the game get better. And also PoE 2 is also slowly getting better, so that's awesome. So yeah, hope you guys have a good one. That's all for this video. Peace.